And welcome to After Hours. Why do we always whisper after?
Only you whisper.
Do I?
I think you're tired.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited with the guests that we're going to be bringing you tonight. It's Monday night. This is better than Monday Night Football.
It's way better than Monday Night Football.
What you're about to get, yes.
Although you probably cry during Monday Night Football when your team loses, like I cried at this movie.
Wow.
Only time men cry, I
Wow.
think, is when their team loses
I don't
in
cry.
football. You don't cry?
I don't cry. No. I had something in my eye yesterday. Last night, there was something in my eye, and it kept getting in there. I had to get it out. But you were bawling.
I know.
You were bawling. All right, let everybody
But it was a good cry.
I don't know how you laugh and cry at the same time.
I don't know. So we're going to run this trailer for you. It's Ethan Bloom, and then come back and introduce you to the director and one of the stars of the movie. So check it out.
And to my son, may you continue to grow in health and stop trying to be a Catholic.
I was a Catholic who was born into the wrong family.
Hey, how my boys?
I'm not Jewish, and I don't get why it's such a big deal.
You are extraordinarily Jewish.
May the Lord be with you.
Judaism is very important to our family. It was important to your mother.
Ethan, Camille.
I'm a self-defense teacher for girls.
You should probably train me.
You get picked on?
Dudes.
You don't have many friends, do you?
Well, define friends.
Yeah, I don't have many either.
I have this new rabbi coming over today to start tutoring you for your bar mitzvah.
I'm not having a bar mitzvah.
This isn't up for debate. I will forbid you from going to the church.
Dad.
Why don't we just think about this as history and philosophy classes?
Fine, but I'm not getting circumcised.
Wait, you never had a bris? Okay, this adds a whole complication to everything.
I'm kidding. It's all kosher down there, relax.
This is gonna be fun.
I do actually have a serious question.
Okay, have at it.
What can I get you?
Can I have a small lemon?
How do you ask a girl to a dance? Question.
Yes.
I'm thinking a lot about my friend's sister.
So you came to schedule a confession.
I mean, I very much see Vivian as someone that I'd like to
Okay, Ethan.
kiss. I mean, she'd be my very first kiss.
Yeah.
I feel like I've spent my whole life looking for something. And I guess one religion wasn't quite big enough for me. And maybe that's who I am.
So,
How Catholic are you?
I'm pretty Catholic.
All right, so check that out. That is the trailer for Ethan Bloom that is airing for the 18th week at Movies of Del Rey with Rochelle and her brother Glenn, and they bring such incredible independent films as well as big blockbuster films. But Ethan Bloom is amazing, and last night you and I got to go, brought some of our crew with us to see Ethan Bloom. We met the incredible director who is joining us today, Herschel Faber, and we have his lovely wife, Davini Faber, joining us, and she was the teacher in this movie, but what an incredible movie. So jokingly, we're talking to Hirsch, and he goes past the concession stand and says to me, "Bring your tissues." And I went, "Really?" He goes, "No, just kidding." Well, no, he wasn't kidding, but I don't know how you can laugh and cry and everything you knew in your life growing up between religion and spirituality, sort of like the papers go up in the air, they fly down, and then you have to reshuffle them and refile them into a whole new thought process.
It was an unbelievable
All
experience.
that for me. I don't know what it did to you. I sat there and laughed
I was
and cried.
an altar boy for many years, and this brought back so many memories. And I'm soy Latino. I'm Spanish, so the whole mixture of this movie. I'm sitting there going, "What did I just walk into?"
And filmed in Miami, right?
And filmed in Miami, and Rosita was on there, and the daughter, and the Spanish, the whole. I gotta tell you, there was so many emotions, I think, that he touched on in this movie. Is what happened.
But it filmed in Miami, great movie. So you've got Catholicism, you've got Judaism, you've got a coming of age movie, you've got the Hispanic community in Miami and South Florida, and really it's just a boy and a girl trying to figure out where they are in life and family dynamics and what happens in the family. We were told it was a boy supposed to be bar mitzvahed and then he wants to go to church. That I think doesn't even touch it. Maybe that's how the distributor sells it. But to me, it was more of a coming of age of an everything movie. So let's bring on Hirsch and let's bring on Davini. I want to get this right. Davini Faber joining us at the Cafe for After Hours. So welcome.
Thank you guys for having us. That was, by the way, the nicest review and introduction of the movie that I could have possibly wanted.
You know, Rochelle came in last week and she says, "Oh my gosh, Ethan Bloom, you know, Rochelle, it's so great. It's a Jewish movie and it's a boy getting bar mitzvah and then he finds church." So this is what we're all expecting.
A Jewish movie.
And it did have that.
Yes.
But there was so much more to the movie. So give us some background on how it all came to be.
No, so the film was 6 years in the making. The film was written by my producing partner, Mylene Dominguez, and she grew up Catholic, married a man who was Jewish, and she converted, went through the process, the mikvah, all the things you do, and was babysitting her nephew at the time when she was thinking about things she wanted to write. And he was a really precocious kid and kind of the model maybe for Ethan Bloomfield, who is the main character in the film. And she thought, you know, what if there was this kid who was born into one particular religion who found solace in another? And then she kind of coupled that with all these other these themes, you know, and really what the film is about a, you know, it's about a kid learning to deal with the loss of his mom. And it is very much coming of age, like you said, Don. And I appreciate you pointing that out. Because it's not necessarily a Jewish film or a Catholic film, though it appeals to those communities, but it appeals to all communities of faith and beyond, really. So that was really important to us in terms of making the film.
Because to me that was, not that it was secondary, but it was kind of secondary to what it was. It wasn't the religious, it was more of, he's trying to deal with the death of his mom.
Yeah.
He's trying to find out who he is, where he fits in, his family legacy of Judaism and the grandfather being a concentration camp survivor and and bullying that goes on in school.
Yeah.
So there's so many things, and then here you are as the teacher, and I'm thinking, I wish I could meet this teacher because your expressions were dependent on the situation. You could see how it resonated with you in a different way. So what was that like for you to do this?
You know, I think when you are a mother, even, I think that obviously played a very big part in how I developed this character. She was actually quite integral in where he was able to get to, because at least there was that one person in school that, at least from a teacher perspective, was kind of giving him the nudge to stand up for himself a little bit and be proud of him and get some support there. So, you know, looking at, you know, the bully and how he was being treated and kind of watching for it, and, you know, but not, you know, as a teacher, you can't, you know, separate your likes from your maybe more unliked children, you know. So it was easy to kind of portray that a little bit, just hopefully in a subtle way, but to get that across to the audience.
But there was a bully.
There was a bully.
So you had to separate the powers.
Right. So it was, you know, I was trying to give Ethan a little bit more support where I could, and then, you know, in the end, the final scene of where the teacher, you know, kind of.
She's underplaying it a little bit, because not only was she doing the acting, she was also production designer on the film. So she was in charge of all of our sets, the look of the film. She was very involved in that, which was amazing. And she was an associate producer, and I always kid, she was our on-set therapist. And when you're making an independent film, you have to have at least one of those on set.
I mean, your locations, the homes that you use on the location shoots. And then school. Again, you took into account the socioeconomics of Miami. With the private school, you didn't pick a public school system setting to put these kids in. So then you've got the socioeconomics of the different religions in different parts of Miami with the English and the Spanish. You touched on so many things that I don't think are touched on the reviews. And I'm glad that we got to see it. I don't know, did you see it any differently?
I'm going to flip the pancake over.
Okay.
I think that you hit home with the Latin community, with the priests. Now, I was an altar boy forever. I can't remember how many years I did it. But that priest, he played his voice in the movie, it just hit me. It went right through me. And when he was talking to him, he didn't know that he was Jewish at the time, right? He had to get his father's permission and all that. And the way he spoke to him, it just brought back all these memories of when I was an altar boy, and the way the Hispanic community, Latinos, so the way we are when it comes, you know, we're holier than thou when it comes to church. Forget about outside, but inside, it's you just hit so many boxes that I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, man, it was hard for me to focus after that because and then there was so many other things, but the ending when he showed up, that's the one that brought the tears.
That's
I
good.
love that part.
Yeah, the priest is played, Father Diaz is played by Carlos Ponce, who's a huge star in the Hispanic community. And I mean, I'm always amazed, like, he's not just big within Latin America, South America, he's big in Africa. He's been doing telenovelas, and he's sort of the scene stealer in the film Couples Retreat, if you've ever seen that with Vince Vaughn and Jason Bateman's and a whole bunch of other people. But he's one of these actors who just has a charisma and a depth, not just of talent, but his voice has that.
Unreal.
It's really, it's like if there was charisma for a person's voice, he's got it, you know? And he's actually famous for, I think he did the reading in Spanish for the book on tape for a lot of the Harry Potter
Like
books,
a
and
lot,
did
like
all
a
of the characters.
No, like a Guinness Book of World Records
he did all the
situation for
characters
like
within
all of the
reading,
characters in
which
the
is really
book.
cool. So he's incredibly talented.
He has a great delivery. I just want to remind you, Movies of Del Rey, Atlantic Avenue, go and see it. It's still playing, right?
We're in our
Yes.
18th week,
That's
which
incredible.
is unheard of for any film, let alone an independent film. And the reason we're still there is because of word of mouth, because of people like you, who you guys, showing up, loving the movie, telling your friends, your family about it. It's, I always kid around that we're after nothing less than world domination. But the truth of the matter is that it does take a village for independent films to go out there and compete with studio movies because they have so much money and so much just support behind them that indie filmmakers don't have. And I think that in today's day and age, indie filmmakers are the ones who are making the really interesting stuff. And so whenever you go out and you watch an independent film, just know an angel is getting his or her wings, I guess. It's that kind of
What
thing.
was your overall message to get out?
For me as director, the thing that was most important was the idea that love transcends everything, all of our differences as people. It doesn't matter if you're Jewish or Catholic or Muslim or a Taoist, whatever it is you are, God loves you, and Ethan even says it during his, I don't want to give any spoiler alerts, but let's say he had a bar mitzvah, he would say that, that God loves us all.
That was a great speech
Thank
that Ethan gave, a great monologue on that.
Yeah. Hank Greenspan is incredible. And I remember shooting that sequence with him, and actually I cut the speech down in the edit. It's a 3-page monologue.
Wow.
And he never needed the sides, he never needed anything, it was all up here. And he kept delivering it and giving me new looks and feels, and he's just a really, really gifted actor.
Gifted, yeah.
And then I look at it from a mother's perspective, but also because I'm Jewish, that you had the rabbi be female.
Yeah.
And that obviously was a choice that you did that. And Freddie looked at me, he goes, a female rabbi. So it brought up those questions also, which then I knew she wasn't an Orthodox rabbi.
Right.
I would have loved to have seen more of their conversations of philosophy through it, to see her take on it.
Yeah.
And then to see the video that he found on the computer.
Yeah.
Forget it, that one got
That's
me.
what got everybody.
As soon as he hit play, then I was done.
Yes.
Do you remember Rabbi Jenny?
Sure.
Didn't it bring back memories of Rabbi Jenny?
She had this motherly feel, and I don't know what it's like when you go to church, because I've never been what it's like to go talk to the priest, but I know what it's like when my kids feel connected to our clergy, between the cantors and the rabbis, to be able to walk in and say, here's cookies, can we have a conversation? And they'll always say, here's my cell phone, do you ever need anything? And I go to Temple Bethel, and that is 100% what it is like. They will drop everything for a child or a family in need, and I could feel that, and I could resonate with that, and I thought, wow, that's you really nailed that one.
Thank you. That was that was really important to have, and the actress who plays Rabbi Danny is Herschel Faber. You guys might have recognized her. She was the evil redheaded vampire in the Twilight movies, and she's just so unbelievably talented. And I don't want to give away any endings, but there is the inference possibly that the rabbi and the dad, you know, enter into like a romantic thing, possibly. And she said to me when we cast the film, she said, Herschel, if anyone ever calls you out on that, I want you to know that that it actually happened for her. Her parents got divorced when she was younger, and her mom married the rabbi. And he became like one of the most important people in her life and raised her. And so she really connected to the material. And I think that's the story of really how this movie got made, that everyone involved and everyone who sees it, they find a connection to the material. And as a filmmaker, that's incredibly rewarding. It's why I make movies, you know, to sort of, you know, to have people feel something and have an experience. So.
Do you have it playing in Miami?
We started in Miami. We were at the AMC's and the Regals. And the truth of the matter is that the big box theaters, they don't give independent filmmakers the kind of love that, for example, movies of Del Rey and Rochelle Walters and Glenn Gray do. So Glenn and Rochelle, they'll allow a smaller film, to find the time to find its sea legs and to create word of mouth and buzz about the movie. They're willing to do that and take that risk and gamble. AMC, Regal, they're not interested in that. They want big dollars right away, and if it's not there immediately, you're out. And it was really a challenge screening the film in Miami, just because when we were in the big boys, so to speak, that sounded weird, but we had they didn't even trailer our movie. I had to go in there and physically convince the manager of some of the AMCs to put my poster up. And that's not how filmmakers, particularly someone who's labored over a project for so long, to be treated. I don't think, I felt kind of slighted, and it was not cool.
It was great. And then there's the dad raising his son aspect of it, which I thought, I'm not a dad, but then I tried to stop for a moment and think what it must be like for a dad in any religion, because it doesn't matter, a dad to be a dad of a son and try to raise a middle school child, because when my kids are in middle school, you got bullying, which you touched on so well, the bullying, then the people like there's anti-Semitism or there's hate of whatever it is. Right. And does the teacher know? Does the principal know? Can I go back to school? Do I tell my parents, because they don't think your parents know anything? Yeah. But you hit on that so beautifully in the school system, as far as bullying.
Well, that's an interesting point, and I had in the film, he's referred to, the bully calls him Auschwitz, which is awful and unconscionable. But it was based on a true thing that happened to the writer's daughter's friend, actually, in Miami at one of the public schools, and that was the nickname they had for him, some of the kids. And so we wanted to include the truth about what goes on, and it does happen. And it was interesting because I had a temple recently come out, and the rabbi and I were doing the Q&A, and we were talking about an observation that he made, and he said, Ethan learns to battle the bully and learns to find the strength to battle the bully from his friend Camille, who's not Jewish. And it's a metaphor for what we need our non-Jewish friends to do right now. Anti-Semitism is on the rise, and we need our non-Jewish friends to also pay attention to that and give us the strength to combat it and supplement it, So yeah, I thought that was a really sort of poignant observation. I'd like to take full credit for it, but yeah, I mean, it was something that just came out of the text organically.
Because I think if my kids came home with anything that said Auschwitz on it, I would, as a mom, would be like, antennas up. I would be in that school.
Oh yeah.
But he never, I guess, told Dad. So now it's up to this school and the teacher to walk a fine line.
Yes.
Because you knew what was going on.
Yes. Yeah, and I think it represents, the boxes everybody gets placed in society as well. I don't think that, it's a very thin line of, in people getting offended on both sides of the aisle in a lot of different scenarios. And administrations being careful to not offend in their situations. So, you know, I think this movie in general, I think, gives talking points across the board. You know, I mean, it just depends how you live your life and what resonates with you and what's happened to you and your own experiences. But I think almost everybody walks out having a really wonderful conversation, maybe some eye-opening, but in a loving, fun way. It's not heavy-handed. So I think everyone can enjoy this film.
And what you don't know is that we took some of the kids, some of the interns in here to see it because I wanted them to meet you. I got to meet you a little bit on Saturday, and I wanted them to be there. And one of them was having a real bad day, and he's not aware of this. She is trying to do an in-house movie, and she put all this together, and the actors, the kids, could not make it for one reason or another. So she was down in the dumps. And I just said to her, come on, let's pick it up, let's do something else. And they did a couple of scenes. And then they went there and you spoke to her. And you told her, be creative and don't stop. And it changed her whole day.
That's great.
And she came up to me, she says, well, thank you so much for bringing, I needed this. So again, it depends on how you look at this thing. And I'm not saying Jewish film, Catholic, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just the film and the message. I think you checked off so many boxes. It's unbelievable, from the teacher all the way down, and it inspires you that there is a chance. You know, love and hope can exist. And we've been doing it for 10 years. We've been saying that, right? And here it is in black and white. Is it in Lakeland also, Lake Worth? The movie
it was in Lake Worth.
It was.
I think we're going to be reopening it in Lake Worth because the popularity of the film is really starting to blossom even more, which is great.
And there's more Latinos in Lake Worth.
Yeah, well, no, I think it's the same number. Movies of Lake Worth and movies of Delray have the same number, don't they? I'm not sure. But yeah, no, I mean, we want to get the movie out there. We're going to be playing a lot of festivals still. We're still doing that. We've played over 38 so far, and we're going to be opening in October theatrically in New York. We're going to be making our way down the East Coast, up into New England, Los Angeles, everywhere. And so we need people to come out and see the movie and become one of our ambassadors to help spread the word.
What's the feedback you're getting?
It's just been pretty much nothing but love, you know? And the real feedback is that the timing for this film is perfect. The world is a bit divisive, not a bit, quite divisive right now, and there's a lot of, you know, a lot of conflict in the world, and this is a film that kind of brings us together. And going to a movie theater and experiencing it together, that's how films were meant to be, you know, experienced. And movies of Delray, movies of Lake Worth, those little indie theaters are kind of like our churches, our temples. They're places where we can come together and feel things. And as you were talking about it just now, you were making me cry. So the Brooklyn Cafe show can make you cry too, you know, just as much as Ethan Bloom.
But the way you had community and you had the kids not on their phone.
Yeah.
Cell phones were in the movie.
Yeah.
But they were actually out, another word, playing, I don't know, but actually engaging with each other in a religious community, outside, doing activities, getting off their cell phones. There were so many nuances, and I know if I see it again, I'll find more nuances to it, that you definitely go check it out. Movies of Lake Worth. It's going to be opening Movies of Delray. Is there a website?
You can go to Menemsha, it's menemshafilms.com. menemshafilms.com. That's spelled MENEMSHA.com. Films.com.
And do me a favor, go see it. Take somebody with you.
Yeah.
Take somebody with you, and then let them tell somebody else to take somebody, because you got to see this. And if you have kids, if you're a student of media, go check out this film, because the way it was shot, there's no dullness in it. It just keeps going, and another box opens.
Tell me, one camera.
One camera?
Only one.
That's impressive.
Thanks.
One camera,
impressive.
right?
That's what happens when you're poor. We could only do one camera.
But you pulled it off.
Thanks.
Well, no, that's the new thing that everyone's doing is one camera.
Yeah.
And they say it's harder to do with one camera because you really have to get your shot right. You have to get your production right.
Or you got to do it over and over again.
Well, we also only had 10-hour days, because a 12-hour day is the standard, but we have a kid working with a child in pretty much every scene, so we were limited to 10 hours, and that really makes you lock in. So
is he really this patient?
Yeah.
No.
Is it?
With everyone else. No, I'm just
Because
kidding.
you got to have a lot of patience
true.
to do, and you edit this thing as well.
I have a great editor. So here, I'll very quickly tell you. I share an editor with Francis Ford Coppola.
Nice.
So my editor, his name's Robbie Schaefer. He's Francis's in-house editor, and he cut my first film, and he did me the honor of cutting this film for me. And he's a good friend and amazingly talented. He learned from Walter Murch, who's one of the great editors of all time, and this kid is like a rock star. And I attribute much of the film's success to him because he's world class.
You can tell because
Yes.
the job was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was just phenomenal. The whole movie,
Yeah.
if you're in the media business, you're going to love it. And there's no faults on it.
We had some clients in earlier today, and I said, take your teenagers there because it is truly a coming of age. It's community. It's coming together. It's supporting each other, regardless of religion, color, race, creed, doesn't matter. But it's about coming together, and that's exactly right. It's way too divisive right now.
Yeah.
We need more Ethan Bloom. Ethan
Let's do
Bloom
it. Ethan
too,
Bloom
Rochelle.
That's coming soon.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, Hirsch and Davini.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. Check it out, Ethan Bloom. You can find it at Movies of Delray. And hopefully if you're in New York, it's going to be opening in New York, so many other places, but check out the website for more locations. All right, ready to wrap it up?
Wrap it up.
All right, have a great evening,
Thank you
everyone.
so
Stay safe, be kind to each other, and we will see you next time on After Hours.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Broken Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.